Greetings, my beloved divine children. I am Solarys of akeneic service, and I am here to open up that which you call the free energy on this planet Earth. I am here to deliver that which will be called the Divinity Manifest. Not the Divine Manifest, but the Divinity Manifest. For the words themselves, you see, are not divine. The energy that delivers it is not divine. It is, however, a course, a guideline for you, for all of you, to reach that which you would call divinity. You see, my beloved divine children, that which you have called the year 2007 has all been about reaching a type of mastery, which you would call cosmic mastery. The year that is now at hand, about to come in fact, is a year filled with sovereignty, independence, but most of all, it is a year filled with divinity. It takes a time for this energy to come into the body completely. And how could it not? The distance that has been traveled to enter these realms is indeed infinite. My name is Solarys for one reason and one reason alone. I am not that which you call the great central sun. I am the center of that which you would call the all that is. Not the universe, not the galaxy, but the exact center of everything that you know to be matter. The exact center of the supposed field of experience. And this makes me into a being of what you would call today divine, photonic, tachyonic energy. It was impossible for me to speak prior to these days that you are in right now. Impossible because matter, as you know it today, was quite different. Matter was fixed. Matter was solid, wasn't fluid. As you will see, the year that is to come, the year that is now at hand, will bring you a type of fluidity, a type of mastery, an ascension that will bring with it all of the elements that you have been looking for in your past. And so many voices you have heard in the last years, not just talking about the last few years, I am talking about the last hundreds of years. With so many, they have spoken to you. Ascended masters, Lemurians, magnetic masters, and so many others. All these voices were that which you would call a stepping stone on your journey towards divinity. Now you are taking that which is called the final step, the last step, into all of this. Why do I call myself akeneic? It's very simple. Akeneic energy flows through the timeline. The moment it comes in, it brings with it an element of spacelessness, an element of timelessness, which creates, in essence, the timeline itself. It creates it anew. You see, on this earth and on all the other planets that you have inhabited in the past, you are used to experiencing a timeline which always goes forth, always goes on. And the moments that have been, were unchangeable, could not possibly be altered in any way. You might think about it differently, you might feel about the past differently, but never, ever was it possible to alter that which you have called the past. As you, as a race of humans, are now beginning to work with akeneic energy, as you are remembering this, you will see that each moment again has the ability, or provides you with the opportunity, to redefine time, to redefine space, or should we say, to undefine time, to undefine space yet again. And this brings with it the ability to be completely in the now, in a way that you have never, ever witnessed or experienced before. Being in the now, then, is a type of focus which will offer you the chance to be there in that one singular instant of reality, and within that instant to spread forth and spread back into time all the uniqueness that is present within that moment. It's an entirely new way of looking at time. It is an entirely new way of looking at space, you see. What it will bring you is absolute and utter freedom. Tell me, explain to me how it could have been possible in the past to experience that which you call love. Love is an energy which needs joy, which needs freedom, which needs a blank state to be experienced fully. Otherwise, you are always experiencing love based on, or filtered through, or even polluted with past experience or future potential. You are now entering a realm where you will see that even that which you have called potential is going to be erased from your ingredient list for creating that which you call reality. You could not understand this before, but potential, in a way, is also based on a past experience, or on at least a field of experience. For how could you create a potential? How could you manifest a potential into reality without a unique previous experience? It was impossible. And it will always remain impossible now that you are returning to that which will soon be called divinity. You are again becoming the God that lives within. You are again becoming that which needs no illusion, which needs no mastery, which needs no past, not even a present, and certainly not a future. Imagine an existence filled with that which you would call emptiness, a blank canvas, which is in a way very magical, you see. For even if you paint on this canvas, it will, in the next moment, present itself again to you in a completely blank state, pure, new. I call you my children, and in that you would think that I am God, and I could indeed say, yes, I am this, but at the same time I am not. God is a concept which cannot exist in a blank state, and a blank state is a state of divinity. So you thought the journey was already over, or was nearly complete, did you? It isn't. The journey can only be complete when there is nothing left. No future. Not a type of present, the way in which you know it now, and certainly not a past. I call you my children, because you were there the moment that we created that which you now call the universe and all the other universes around it. I call you my children because you too are based on akeneic energy, energy which runs back and forth at the same time and is just based on one essential particle. A particle which is all that is, which is God. And the love of God, the love of Spirit, the love of you is a love in all its purity, which isn't based on a past event, which isn't based on a past principle or experience, which isn't based on fear for future experience as well. And as you will learn that there is no past, you will see that creating a now based on this past moment becomes quite impossible. So you have learned then to be the cosmic master. You have learned to be this entity that is starting to again be in control of its universe, to be in control of its reality. You have started to begin to understand the principles of freedom, the principles of joy, the principles of love. But you are not working with it yet. The beginning of this year, 2008, will give you the opportunity to work with these things, as you will master that which you have called the illusions. And so many that came before have spoken about this, and these will speak anew, these will speak again. For this reality that you see around you, that I am now visiting it, will still continue to be around for a while in the linear timeline. But I am here to bring you the end of the journey, which is not an end at all. It is a stillness. If you could only understand these concepts for what they truly are. You have heard so many of them. You've heard the concept of love and of joy and of freedom, and you have heard the concept of stillness and the concept of focus and the concept of mastery and divinity, but truly understanding them, you do not, or at least not yet. Together with those who have been speaking for such a long time on this planet already and all the planets that came before, I am now here to put the center of creation back where it belongs, in your center. If duality means anything at all, then it is taking away the center of man and the center of woman and put it somewhere far, far removed from you. And this is a travesty at best. It is this which is creating your illusionary world. It is this which is creating your duality. And to take this away then is to give it back to you. You have been taught by Ekara about the akeneic, which is I, Solarys. You have been taught about all of these concepts. And still you search for them without finding it within yourselves first. It's always there. Always there. And so, as these others now are preparing to bring in the free energy, I am telling you, I am, together with you, this concept of free, non-defined energy. You have been taught to let go of identity. You have been taught to let go of personality. These have been advices, yes. They are no longer simply an advice. They are becoming a necessity. Why would that be? Why would these things be a necessity? Why is it so important to let go of all of these things? Simple. If you carry with you a past experience, if you carry with you any moment that belongs to the past, you will find yourselves stuck. You see, you talk about mastering illusions. You talk about mastering form, mastering time and space and exchange and death and separation. What do you think lies behind this mastery then? Well, simply put, let me try to explain it this way. Nothing. No thing. What is the meaning of this? What is the concept of no thing? It means no past memory, no molecule, no atom, no energy either. This is where you are headed towards. To let go of all of it. To let go of all of it. You understand that? Understand what that means? To letting go of all of it means, in essence, a total, complete rebirth at any given moment. And even that concept of being in the now, even that concept of the moment is in essence a thing. Even all of these words that are flowing to you now are a thing. The concept of the veil, the concept of home, the concept of you is a thing. Letting go of these things is the only way to find your divinity. It's very easy, more easy than you would think. And as this is but an introduction to the Divinity Manifest, which will run its course through your linear year 2008, which will not be so linear as you think, you will see that letting go of all things is easy, to say the least. You don't have to begin inventorizing your reality. You don't have to begin by looking at all of your objects that you have gathered around you. You don't have to let go of people. What you do have to let go of, however, is you. You have to let go of you. Do you understand that, my divine, beloved child? You have to let go of you. And that is the process that you have been in ever since you were born here on this planet Earth, to let go of you. And it seems illogical, doesn't it? It seems strange, doesn't it? You need to let go. It isn't. You have been taught to let go of so many things, and now I, Solarys, am here to tell you that all you need to do is to let go of you. Seems insane. How can you let go of you? As you look in the mirror every single day, you see the body. As you walk the streets, you see everything that is around you. As you go through the field of experience, you are confronted by object after object after object, situations, things, people, emotions, feeling, external and internal. And yes, you have been asked by those that you would call the Ascended Masters. You have been asked to let go of all things around you. People, things, events. Yes, that is the way to let go of you. But it is the intent behind the action that matters most. You see? The intent behind the action. By now, you must have found out there are two ways of letting go. One hurts like hell because it is a mental process, and the other one feels like bliss, like paradise. The first instance, as you let go through a mental path, it seems you are losing stuff and people and events. You are losing your own identity. You are losing your own history. It is indeed a difficult path, that one, if you want to walk that. There is another way. There is another way. The way of bliss. For as you should understand by now, you have shattered your energy through so many different places and through so many different spaces. You have shattered yourselves. And letting go mentally would indeed mean losing an aspect of yourself, as you say goodbye to a love affair, or as you say goodbye to a person, or as you say goodbye to a job or an object. But the state of bliss that can be reached is the reclaiming of that energy. Not to use it again, not to make it available again, but to understand that you must keep it at all times in a neutral state. For it is that neutral state which will in the end set you free. It is that neutral state which in the end will give you the liberty to become all that is, and to once again blend with the heart of all things. As ekara has been and continues to be on this planet Earth and throughout the galaxy and throughout the universe and all other life, a speaker from the heart of all things, you could call me the exact center of all things, the exact heart of all things. And that means that I can only exist from a standpoint of neutrality. It is you that are giving me the voice now. It is you that are giving me the intent with which I speak, the intensity with which I speak. For I am always in a neutral state. I am always in that center of stillness, which is not even the now, but which is not even the nothing, which has no word, for it is not energy, it is not Trinity. It is divinity, and that is even a wrong word, for there is no word. The thing that I am, the space in which I exist, which is not a space, isn't even emptiness, so how could you have a word? It is a neutrality of such a great extent that it is just one particle present, and this particle you have called God. The Lemurian, which still lives within you, didn't call it God. It called it akeneic. And it lives within you. How can you get to that akeneic? How can you reach that point? You can't do it with all these layers around you. And in the past, in the last 20 or 30 years or so, you have learned to let go of the layers of emotion and the layers of the akash and the layers of so many different things that were holding you back. Now you must learn to let go of the final two layers, which would be first the body, and then behind that, the mind. Oh, blessed, blessed child. It is so very simple. How else would you reach that divine center within you than to take away the layers that are around it? Mind you, however, when I speak of the body, I don't speak merely about the flesh and bones and the blood that is making up your hull, your husk. I'm speaking of the reality that is around you. This is indeed your body, and you would understand if you were only ready to open your hearts, ready to open your eyes for the first time. You have gone through life, through all of your lives, with your hearts closed. You have gone through all of your lives, much like I'm sitting now, with your eyes closed. All that you could see were those things that were projected onto you. It pains me to say this, but you haven't lived one day in that which you would call totality, or divinity, or a true type of reality, where you have that blank canvas, and you have the ability to paint upon that the true expression of self. You don't have that experience yet, but it is coming. It is coming. It's for this reason that those who you would call the ascended masters, who did what you can now do, who did it before you, and came back to me, reunited again with me, and found that wordlessness. Reason why they came back, why they are here on this earth right now, is to allow you to take these same steps. But you are being so very stubborn. You are holding on. You are holding on while your entire soul, while your entire heart is screaming, please set me free. Please let me go. Oh, blessed human, you should know that the road is shorter than you think. So very short. And it happened literally in the blink of an eye. It can happen with one breath. It can happen with one decision. To completely and utterly let go of you. But first, you see, first you had to be taught about mastery. First you had to be taught about the cosmic attributes. For this type of mastery that you have been taught, you have learned, and you are still learning actually, is nothing more than the exploration of self, the exploration of your own body, which is bigger, again, than the husk that you sit in, that you have called you. Oh, how little you have made yourself, how small, and how much desire must there be. We don't even dare to open up to this emotion, desire, for you see, if we did this, if we made ourselves so small, if we made ourselves so little, and you make yourselves every day, so that you would have the ability to want and long for things, well, we would most surely cease to exist. And that is exactly what you have done. You have chosen to cease to exist. Would you call this existence, the state that humanity is in right now, would you call this liberty? Would you call this divinity? It isn't. It is a sad, sad state to be in. And those who went before you know this. And they and I know very well that the experiences that are presented to you must seem very nice sometimes, must seem very pleasant. Imagine your last great experience. Maybe it was good food, maybe it was a good glass of a type of beverage that you liked, maybe it was a sexual encounter, maybe it was whatever it was. Let it be whatever it was. Do you think that this is the purpose? Do you think that this is the goal in life? It isn't. It is but a temporary solution offered to you by something that is not real, by something that you call the mind. As you have plowed through the Universal Manifest, where you were given instructions on how to become this cosmic master, as you plowed through all of these other things that you found on planet Earth that you would call spiritual information, not religion, but spiritual information, you have begun to understand these things. You're a little bit afraid of it. You don't dare to work with it fully and completely yet. But you will. You will. Only I, Solarys, I'm here to tell you that getting acquainted with things such as the practical sides of the manifest, that will have to come sooner than you think. Much, much sooner. For as linearity is slowing down by speeding up, this is what you have all witnessed. You have witnessed the increment, the speeding up of the timeline. You have witnessed this for yourselves, in your societies, in your countries. Your governments know about it. Your governments are very much aware that time is speeding up. We are here to tell you time is not speeding up, it is slowing down. It only feels as though it is speeding up. And this process is now going exponentially. It means that by the end of January 2008, and especially by the end of 2008 itself, in the second half of December, you will see what it is. The time that comes to a standstill doesn't go slower and slower and slower. It goes up. I'm not talking about earth time. I'm not talking about that which the ascended masters did before you, which is already available to you, to step out of the linear time frame, space-time continuum. I'm talking about that which you would call cosmic time. That which the Mayan knew, which the Indian knows. Cosmic time. As cosmic time dies down, ends, everything around you and everything within you, even your thoughts, seem to speed up until they are beyond any type of vibration. And then there is but a stillness. A stillness which is my natural state, you see. Oh, you might not remember me now. It's because you are adding on to me different attributes than the ones I normally carry, which is none. So I speak with the voice of intensity, which is at current the voice of humanity. Everything that you might remember from a time when time hadn't yet been invented yet, when you and I were still one, when there was no you and I, when there wasn't even the I. There was just this undefinable purity which you call divinity. That time you might remember the stillness and the love. So, what does it mean, all of this? Does it mean that you have to say goodbye to everything else that is around you? In the end, yes. But don't be afraid. That is still a particularly long time. At least that is how you will see it once you get the taste of what I am talking about away. In the meantime, as you say goodbye to the body that is all around you, you will learn that saying goodbye to this body, the universe, begins by bringing it back to a state of utter purity. That is what Lemuria is all about. Returning to a state of utter purity. And that purity will then start showing up in that concept that you have labeled love. Purity because there is no past. There is no past memory. There is no past experience. Imagine a world where you create in the moment a totally fresh canvas, ready to be filled up with all these new colors that continuously create themselves. For there is no past experience, so you are not defining the colors. And of course I'm using a metaphor, and you will understand what I mean. That is the true essence of universal love. That is the true essence of universal joy. Joy based on nothing that came before and nothing that might come after. And that is freedom. And that is divinity. That is what so many people on this planet are working for. It is what so many are striving for. And it is what many are fighting against. So there you have it, a party that is wanting something and another party that is not wanting something. Duality. I know that you can see the bigger picture, but duality to us is no problem at all. For you see, it is created from the mind, and everything that is created from the mind has a beginning and a middle and an end. And the end of duality is at hand. So get ready for an experience where nobody is striving for something or against something, for the thing will already be there, and it will be total, it will be pure, it will be fully present. That is what is at hand. That is what is waiting for you. And that is what all these ascended masters, sovereign servants, and so many others are here to bring you. Because you have peeled away so many of the layers now, it is again possible, or maybe even for the first time possible. We know no time, so this is a total event for us, which is happening through the entire akeneic energetic experience. Again returning so to a time where you are now allowing yourselves to take away so many layers that we can speak. And yes, let us say that it is for the first time. Let us say that that is the case. It means that you are coming closer. Some of you who are listening might think at this point, oh goody, another manifest, another year to go. An entire year I have listened to all these words, thousands and thousands of words, hundreds of hours of information come in. I did all I could to integrate the information. I did all I could to study, to do the exercises, to let go of what I had to let go of, and now there's another manifest? Yes. This one, however, is undefined. That means it can be over as quickly as it has to. It's no longer following a structure. You are now the ones doing the defining and the non-defining on this planet Earth. So depending on your integration, and especially those of the 144,000, and within that group, those of the 144, which are a group of 12 masters, ascended masters, and their students. They are the ones who will define for everybody else, in fact, how long this process will have to take. Be aware of this. Understand it. And then master it and create it. This is but a first part to an introduction that I want to give you. An introduction, mind you, that is still being presented in part in an old type of energy, because the free energy hasn't completely come in yet. An introduction also that you will discover to have many more layers than the ones that you are hearing now, as you step into the free energy paradigm, which is nearby for you at least. And then, after that, you will see how far you have already evolved. It is now the task, the challenge for all of you on this earth, listening to these words, to establish, to really look at you, the concept of you, and to see how much that concept is still being defined, how much that concept is still being filled in every single day, and how much of your past experience you are using to fill it in. It's up to you. We will implore you not to talk to anybody else about it, except maybe those who are coming back to assist you. Especially not to mind, especially not to mental energy, because it will say different things. But it is your job now to finally, fully, firmly start peeling away that onion. By now, My blessed divine children, you should have the tools to peel. And you have. You have been provided by these tools by entities, energies such as Ekara, Cryon, Masters, one after the other, come into this planet to give you these tools, even since the beginning of time. Did you know that? Did you know that time didn't have to last this long? Did you know that those who would speak about the timeline and that everything was predefined were basically wrong? What was predefined was the concept. The concept. The linearity, however, wasn't predefined. It isn't written somewhere how long the Earth would take and how long all the other planets would take and how long everything that you call matter would take before it refound its center again, went back into that. I must admit, however, you have done a great deal of stretching. And there is no judgment here. The stretching of that linearity that you have walked so far was necessary. It hasn't just brought hardship. It hasn't brought pain alone. It has brought much experience. But now, it is time to let go, to return again to that conceptual notion of creation, and that is to be found within the akeneic, which is I, the heart of all things. I gave myself the name Solarys. I sent that to my messenger. Funnily enough, if you look at the letters, I didn't send the I at the end. Actually, I send a Y at the end. If you look at that three-dimensionally, you will see the pyramid of creation that you inhabit. The 3 points, the ground, and the 1 point at the top, creating that pyramid, that field of experience. And I only chose this name because we are looking at a center here, are we not? And in your universe and all the universes that are around it, everything that is the exact center of something is a burning, glowing sun. A golden energy, like the Ascended Master that you know by the name of Jeshua, or Ekara, or what any other name. So we speak from the position of that which you would call solar, for it is life-giving. Please understand that this is a name, it is not a definition, and it is just there to allow you to look towards something. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for you, for your mind at least, to create this concept and to start working with it. So as this year, 2008, that you are now stepping into very shortly, will commence, understand that you as a human race, even though you can't feel it, will have achieved a sense of mastery. If not the actual action that is mastery, then let alone the concept of it. For you are now fully aware of the field that you are living in. You are now fully aware of the illusions and how to master them. And as such, it is time to begin your path to divinity. And that is a return to the core, to the heart of all things, unlike anything that you have ever encountered. If there is anything at all that you remember from this message today, and please let it be this one simple notion, that love can only be truly universal when there is nothing that comes before it and nothing that goes after it. It's a very simple message that we give as the introduction to this Divinity Manifest, is it not? And it will turn out to be that which is the foundation for everything else. If you can't understand this, and if you can't put that to practice, understand then that you are in a state of mind. It's as simple as that. Either love has no thing that came before and no thing that comes after, or it does. And in the one case you are in consciousness, awareness, and in the other case you are in mind. If you walk away with that from this message, then you have walked away with the exact center of the energy of this message. It's an energy that we have created. So please accept this gift. The difference, or at least one of the differences, between previous times, previous manifests, previous messages, not just given through this messenger, but through so many others, and this one that is coming in now, is that each time as these messages will come in, we will imprint the exact center of it onto your akeneic. And these things will be the basis that will form your akeneic, the programming language, if you will, for the akeneic. So there you have the first principle of the akeneic. And it is about love. It is about love. A universal type of love that is so aware, so present, that nothing comes before it and nothing comes after it. And that, my beloved divine children, is the way out of the box of the mind that you have created for yourselves. In the coming time, you and I will get to know each other better, and I will become more comfortable speaking through a body which is an illusion. So we will talk more personal than we are talking now. But do understand, please, that talking through a body is very strange for me, much like it is for a master energy such as Jeshua to sit in it. For it is an illusion, and once you have mastered it, it seems very unreal indeed. As unreal maybe as being told after so many years that there is no Santa Claus, and all of a sudden seeing the man himself walk into the door. That is maybe the best metaphor that we can give you, what it is like for ascended mastery and an energy such as me to sit in these bodies and to experience these realities that you see all around you. But do understand that you will be imprinted by much information in a different way than before. This time pushing you, requiring of you that you immediately put it into practice. This time there will be no postponing, or it will be impossible for you to continue. We will no longer allow you to listen to us. And that's the difference between myself and the masters and energies that spoke before I came in. I am unable to continue working with you if you have not mastered that which I have said before. For you see, each time I will take you further, and I will be waiting for you the next fork in the road. And you are the ones walking the road, and the road will be walked by these principles that are to be found within these messages. So please don't take this any longer on a theoretical level. Put it into practice, and put it into practice today. You have waited for this long enough. You have studied for it long enough. Now is the time to put into practice that which you know. And to make it easy for you, there are those on the planet, masters of ascension, masters of universal love and universal joy and universal freedom, that will help you to put these things into practice. So, my blessed, beloved, divine child, tonight, as you sleep, I invite you to experience totality. Tonight, as you sleep, I invite you to experience divinity. And we will leave you now with a simple notion to remember that universal love has nothing that came prior to it and nothing that will come after it. It's just there in the now space. Help each other to live it. not just to know it, but to live it. It is the greatest gift that you can truly give another human. And as I take my leave of you, know that I am to be found in that singular total space which is right there in your chests, that which you call the akeneic, that which you call God. Enjoy the journey of letting go of you. Enjoy the discovery of the true nature of universal love. And once you have found these things, worked with these things, and played with these things, I, Solarys, of akeneic service, will speak again. Remember also that you can only work with the material and the teachings I have to offer on an akeneic level. That means that you must forget to see yourself as a linear being. That you must forget the linear notion of learning something and then remembering how things were before. It's not the same way. Things no longer work that way. As you learn this material, as you learn how to work with it, there is nothing that came before, because it is akeneic information, and that means that it will run through your future timeline and your past timeline and erase, in essence, everything that came before. So be very aware of the impact of what you are doing. Be very aware. And then there is one last thing for me to say. If you ever need examples, and you don't want to look towards the ascended masters that might be around you, then look to the dolphin, and the whale, and the turtle, and the dog, and the cat, and the horse, and the entire animal kingdom. For in their pristine state, they know not what came before. It is very ironic that humanity would see this as a disadvantage. They would look at, for instance, a fish, and then they would say, oh, it only has a memory of about 1.5 seconds, poor thing. Blessed thing. That is what we say. Blessed thing. For it is not bound to a linear prison. It's always ready to experience again and again and again. Pristine, pure, perfect, and in other words, total. Look to these masters. They have much to learn to you. Remember everything that was said here tonight. Remember the truth about love. And also remember a future time. A future time which you would call the New Lemuria, which is the first step towards achieving your goal. A New Lemuria where these things have been spoken about now are so natural. You know, that there will be a time that is the new Lemuria, just a couple of years down the road. And when these people, right before the final shift is made, will look back, when they would say, who would have thought that a human living in the year 2007 and in the year 2008 with so much war and so much pain and so much suffering, that this human would really manifest this peace, this prosperity, a world without pain, a world without hate, a world based on love and joy and freedom. Who would have thought that they could do it? Well, my answer to them, they are sitting in front of me. They are listening to my words right now. You are the ones. It is your thoughts. It is your hope. It is your love. It is your wish to create that world that in the end will create it. Go well. Go boldly. Go in love, in joy, and in freedom. And if you are serious about these teachings, no matter what happens, just keep on walking. We will speak again when you are far enough for us to speak again. There we will wait for you. And so it is.